Live from the House of LeMay Makeup and Dressing Room.
Here comes Amber. Stop what you're doing. Here comes Amber. She's just doing what she can. Here comes Amber. Cue the spotlight. Here comes Amber with 2 drinks in her hand. The matriarch of fashion, secrets to her glasses, you can't look away. Ask her, does she do it? There's really nothing to it. She's got that feminine game. If you have a party, or if you're feeling naughty, call up the House of LeMay. Here comes your favorite gal. Here comes your queen. Here comes the talk of the town. And we're live tonight. The music starts playing. It's time for cabareting. And we're live tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off all cell phones and get ready for your host, Amber LeMay.
Hello, hello, hello. But first, you know what I want you to do? I want you to like, share, subscribe. Oh, yes, you want to. Thank you very much. All right, it's June, so that means it's Happy Pride Month, everyone. So there's going to be lots of rainbows everywhere. But first, let's go to headlines. Many times here on Headlines, we have mentioned Marjorie Taylor Greene, the United States representative from the 14th District of the state of Georgia. Now, to refresh your memory, Ms. Greene was a CrossFit enthusiast, so much so that she and her husband owned a gym. And she managed to have several romantic affairs with the clientele, one of whom was a polyamorous, tantric sex guru named Craig Ivey. It took me 3 takes to do that one. In her first campaign for office, one of her commercials showed Greene brandishing an AR-15 rifle and telling Antifa terrorists to stay away the hell out of Northwest Georgia. Another of her campaign promises was to end abortion in America. Now, she called the Parkland, Florida shooting a false flag and was seen harassing survivors. She questioned the validity of 9/11, claimed Obama was a Muslim, and that the Clintons were guilty of murder. She was in office less than a month before she was stripped of all of her committee assignments for her history of trafficking and racism, anti-Semitism, and baseless conspiracy theories. But that didn't shut her up. Since then, she's claimed, Jewish space lasers sparked the California wildfires, and she sent an email that's saying that martial law, and she spelled Marshall M-A-R-S-H-A-L-L, should have been invoked to prevent Biden from taking office. She accused Nancy Pelosi of leading the gazpacho police. And in another food-related gaffe this week, she claimed that Bill Gates wants you to eat his fake meat that he grows in a peach tree dish. Yes, she said peach tree. In the recent Georgia primary, Greene received over 70% of the vote over several other candidates. Having raised $9 million had to help some. Her opponent in November will be Army veteran Marcus Flowers. That should be a fun race to watch. Yes, it is June, and as mentioned earlier, Pride Month. And what better way to kick off Pride Month than hearing from the second most hideous member of Congress, Lauren Boebert from Colorado. On Tuesday, she tweeted, "A North Carolina preschool is using LGBT flag flashcards with a pregnant man to teach kids colors. We went from reading Rainbow to Randy Rainbow in a few decades. But don't dare say the left is grooming our kids." Now, there was no evidence provided, just spouting off words of hate. And Randy Rainbow, being Randy Rainbow, did you know that that's his real birth name? He tweeted, "Sweetie, your homophobia is showing. And for the record, I've had my tubes tied. The responses from others was just as hilarious. Maybe she'll learn. Don't mess with gays, especially in June. We aren't going to take it anymore. And that's this week's headlines. All right. Hey, Russell, come on in.
Hey, Amber, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Oh, it's Pride Month, so
It is. Happy Pride.
Yes. We had a busy weekend. Lucy Bell on Friday night and I went down on Church Street to celebrate the Burlington Jazz Fest. And then Saturday morning, I went down to Barrie to help them open up their new Gay Pride Center.
Wow.
Community center. Yes. So it's been a busy weekend, but happy to be here right now.
Great. Well, we're happy you're here too. But we want to make sure everyone can see you perfectly. So we want to tell them the best way to watch. Can you imagine us doing that? Best way to watch. Where to watch Amber Live, the best thing you can do is go to YouTube, youtube.com/Amber Live, or you can go to Facebook or TikTok, not TikTok, or Twitter or Twitch. But YouTube is the best because on YouTube you see us in full HD. And then I do want to tell you, we do have a TikTok, an Instagram, a Facebook, and a website. They're all listed right there with all kinds of different material on them. Everyone's a little different, and they're all a lot of fun. And if you're out driving in the morning on your way to work, if you're commuting again, or if you have some time and you want to listen to Amber but can't play the full show, we have the interviews going up now as a podcast. So you can also find Amber Live at any one of those places where podcasts are found. So.
And you know what our good friend Bob Bolliard said? He said, yeah, the podcasts are good because you don't have to look at her when she talks.
Oh, that wasn't very nice of Bob.
No, it wasn't. Funny, but not good, not nice.
And speaking of listening, what happens on Wednesday nights, Amber?
Wednesday nights, we do a promo for the next show, and then we go on air just to talk, just to chat. We call it Amber Chat, and we get the Amber crew all together, and we talk about what we had for dinner, what we've been watching, anything happening in our lives. And it's just a really nice community of people from California, from Washington, from Tennessee, from Florida, from New York, from Vermont, from Newfoundland, from Manitoba, from Alberta, from London, from Japan, everywhere around the world come to chat on Amber Chat on Wednesday night.
Oh, that's great. And you know what supports all of that is our bustiers. And you know how
I
love
back?
Our bustiers. The bustiers are back. The pledge drive is mostly over, although I do have something to tell everyone. But first, let's take a look at our bustiers. And you can see we've added to the bustiers there during our pledge drive with a lot of great friends who helped us out with Dixie Longate, Mike Dunphy, Doug and Fred are good friends who have been longtime supporters. Our great friend Larry Lamori, Chrissy B even joined in and helped out. Stacy Green, all the way from California, Judy Alexander, and even Derek Hall helped out and during our pledge drive. And Amber, I think you know who Derek Hall is, also known as Two Toads.
Two Toads is one of our regulars on Wednesday. That I don't know how they found us, but we just talk. We have lots of fun, and they're very funny too. They add a lot of good comment to our conversation.
So if you'd like to become a bustier and join that list and help us out and keep us live streaming, you can see the Venmo right there, or you can use the support Amber Live, and that's a huge help to us. And if you donate $25 or more, although any amount is welcome, but $25 or more will get you a Amber Live sticker. $100 or more will get you a sticker and a magnet, and $200 or more get you a sticker, a magnet, and a wonderful Amber Live mug, and that's all using that Venmo at RJD Pro. Now, I did say our pledge drive for the month of May is over because we're now in June. However, unfortunately, we did not quite meet our $1,000 goal for our matching donor, but our matching donor has extended that, and if you can still donate this week, so if you'd like to make a donation this week and help us reach that $1,000, that would be a huge help. And there it is again, Venmo at RJD Pro, or go to our website. You can use a credit card using the Support Amber Live button. So thank you very much to everyone who helped out during the pledge drive. And thank you all very much to all of our bustiers.
Yes, yes. Thank you so, so much. And to my secret admirer, who I don't know who that is.
Yes.
I'm excited. All right, Russell. So tell us about the show tonight.
Oh my goodness, the show tonight. This show has been building since the beginning of Amber Live, really, because really early on we met this person, and that's Debbie Wildman, and we found out about her, and we said she should be on the show because she's doing this great thing to entertain her friends, and she was going on Facebook every day and singing a song so that her friends could listen, and that started to grow a little bit, and she got noticed, and it was just incredible. And now she not only has an album coming out, but is touring the U.S. and is going to have a show at Carnegie Hall at the end of the month.
Hall.
Can you imagine? So we have an amazing guest tonight, Debbie Wildman. Welcome once again. We can't wait to hear all about it.
Oh, it's a fascinating interview. We recorded it 2 weeks ago while she was preparing for her tour, but it's just fascinating, and she couldn't have been more gracious and more friendly and more opening to us. So I appreciate that.
And now here's that interview.
One of the pluses of the COVID pandemic was that it made people get creative. Whether it be for economic or mental stability, people looked for new ways to survive. For us, it was creating Amber Live. That was over 105 shows ago. For Debbie Wildman, it was putting out a song a day on Facebook for her friends' enjoyment. And then she posted one of her songs, an impression of Judy Garland, on a Garland fan page. Friend requests started pouring in. She was contacted by one of Reba McEntire's songwriters. She was contacted by one of Judy's former boyfriends and pianist, John Mayer. And she was contacted by Billy Stritch, one of Liza Minnelli's composers and accompanist. And she appeared on former Amber Live guest Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party. With this exposure to the United States, she received Best Vocalist in a Broadway World Cabaret Awards in 2020. All of this happened in 10 short months. We were fortunate enough to talk to her as all of this was happening back in January of 2021. And this is how we ended the interview. But now these doors have opened up for you. What do you want to do when the big door opens up and you can get out?
I mean, I'd love to do some performances. I love singing live, so yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's just been so strange, from going, and like before I was a stay-at-home parent, I was a receptionist for a bank. Like, it's all a bit bonkers, really. I tried to make it with acting and singing as a job in my early 20s after my degree, and I just didn't make enough money. I couldn't do it as a job. I had to pay my bills. So I tried hard, but I didn't get that much work. And then it's just been a complete surprise.
Well, I think after this is over, the pandemic's over, and people are allowed to move around and have live performances, you're going to be getting phone calls from Billy Stritch and other people as well. After you appear on Amber Live, no more people will be contacting you, I'm sure. All right, Debbie Wildman.
Both, so.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And girl, we're going to hear more from you, and I can't wait to have you back on the show when it happens.
Thank you, Amber.
And we are very fortunate to have Debbie back on Amber Live to bring us up to date on where that song a day has taken her. Welcome back, Debbie.
Hello, I'm back. Hey, Amber. Hi.
Oh, Debbie, so much has happened since we talked 12, 14 months ago. Yeah. So the doors opened up, and what has happened to you since then?
I burst through it. No.
Yes, you did.
It's been great, actually. So I realized the poster behind me makes me look like I've got a strange hat on. But I've got an agent and manager. Again,
now, how did that come about? How did that come about?
Videos. He saw my videos on Facebook and YouTube, and just contacted me over Messenger. And, you know, when I first started doing this, I didn't even know people could call you on Messenger. I had no idea. I thought you had to have someone's phone number. And like an idiot, when I first started doing this, I had a phone call of someone I didn't know on Messenger, answered it, and it was someone doing something very rude. But my new agent manager didn't do that. That's really bad. I didn't mean to go down that route. No, this fabulous guy called Scott Stander called me on Messenger, and I was like, hello. And we had a chat, and he said that he was an agent. And at the time, it was still quite lockdowny. And he said, you know, I really like what you've been doing. I'd really like to work with you. But at the minute, there's nothing happening. But can we keep in touch? And I was like, yeah, great. And then, you know, we kept talking over time. And then, yeah, it's just developed that we were chatting and talking about ideas. And he's putting me on tour in the United States.
How fascinating. Now, how did he come up with that idea? Did you come up with that idea of going on tour?
He came up with the tour idea. Yeah, it was. He manages and works with a lot of people, and you know, because you go online, don't you? You go. Let's see. Rita Moreno, George Shakiris, Julie Newmar, Mitzi Gaynor.
My God.
I know. I was like this. Ooh, yay! As well as younger folk also, all of this Dancing of the Stars dancers and things like that. So I was like, wow, this is very impressive. Ooh. Yeah, so it was his idea. And then I flew out to LA in January to meet Scott in flesh and have a catch up with him and talk ideas and stuff. And I said, oh, at some point in the future, I'd like to do an album. I said, he's good on it. He was like, right, okay. A few months later, let's do an album then as well. And it can be out the same time as your tour. I was like, really? Yeah, come on, let's do it. So, yeah, we've been recording an album. And the idea behind the tour and the album, to make it that bit different from other sort of Judy, because it's all Judy centric at the moment, but that's not to say in the future I won't do other stuff just as myself. The idea is to do, because I'd done a few of these on my videos anyway, to do songs that Judy hadn't done, you know, ones that she probably would have done maybe if she'd got the chance to record them. So recording them as Judy or performing them live as Judy, but songs that she hasn't done. So that makes it that bit different, you know, because I think, especially for a recording, if you want a recording of Judy Garland singing a Judy Garland song, you're going to listen to her, aren't you? Those recordings exist. Why would you listen to me if you could listen to her doing it? Because she's the best, really. But we thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting and something worthwhile doing that you would actually want to listen to, of doing songs that she didn't do as her, in her style, with a 30-piece orchestra.
How many?
30.
Oh my gosh, how exciting.
Harps, everything.
All right, so your first trip to LA, was that your first visit to the States?
No, I've been a couple of times. I went to New York for my 18th birthday. That was my 18th birthday present with my mum and dad. And then when I was about 30, I think, me and John and my parents went to Hollywood for me, that I wanted to look at all the stuff. San Francisco and Vegas. We did like the diamond trip. We rented a car. Before we had kids, I was like, no, I didn't have kids with my parents, obviously. Before John and I had children, we were like, right, I want to do this and have fun. So we did. And yeah, and I've done the drive from San Francisco down to LA, the coast drive, because we went to a friend's wedding in San Francisco. But that was about it. That's the only times I've been to the States. So I came in.
What impressed you? What impressed you with John when you met him in person?
With John, my husband.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, your manager.
Scott.
Scott, okay.
Scott. So he's called Scott Stander. And yeah, he's just a really nice guy. Really nice. Because, you know, I flew over to the States not having met anyone, and I was by myself. So I was like, let's see. I'm so lucky. Genuine, really nice guy, knows his stuff, has a lot of confidence and faith in what I can do, because he's putting it in there and going, right, okay, let's do this, let's have a go, you know. So yeah, he's a really nice, genuine guy who loves what he does, I think, and just friendly.
So when does your tour start?
10th of June, Judy Garland's 100th birthday.
Oh, how exciting. Yeah, and we have a clip, I think, a Sizzler clip about about the tour. Let's watch it.
Experience the 100th birthday celebration of the world's greatest entertainer, Judy Garland. Direct from London, internet sensation Debbie Wildman dazzles with songs that Judy would sing if she were with us today. From Adele to Lady Gaga, the Beatles, and more.
Ever since this world began. Hey lady, are you who's? Wow, what a looker you were. Or better yet, sorry, I thought you were who's. Whatever happened to her? We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine till the end of the line.
Brought to you by the orchestrator of Jersey Boys. Don't miss this thrilling performance. You won't believe your ears when you hear it.
Strike the band.
It's today. Off there.
We're going to talk about your song selection later on. But right now, we're going to take a little break, but we'll be back with more of Debbie Wildman.
Thank you, Debbie. Oh, we've got lots more to talk about. But first, my rant and rave. Yes, it's Pride Month, a time for all the members of the alphabet community to celebrate and remember the struggles of generations that has allowed us to be who we are. But corporate America sees it differently. I received an email from Uber. Oh, no, Uber. It is not a celebration for everyone. Yes, it's nice that you're committed to helping make every Uber ride a safe space for all. It just sounds a bit too insincere and pandering. And then there's the proud whopper. Tight ends and wide receivers with the NFL. Hey, Listerine, you're killing more than bad germs with this. And Budweiser is going after the bees. And then there's this. Yeah, that's my rant. And for my rave, instead of buying the products and supporting their corporate agenda, do some real good and become an Amber Live bustier. Yeah. And now back to the interview.
All right, we're back with Debbie Wildman. We just saw the clip of her upcoming tour. Now, where is your tour based? Where are you going to be touring with this?
All over now. Let me see. This is off the top of my head because I've not got it in front of me. So starting in LA at Catalina's. So that's on the 10th, which would have been Judy Garland's 100th birthday, and the 11th of June, which would have been my own grandmother's 101st birthday.
Now, is that the grandmother that you used to sing Judy to?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
The one who got me into Judy. Their birthdays are 1 day and 1 year apart.
Oh my gosh, how exciting is that? She'll be watching you. I know she will be.
Yeah.
Are they all California based tour?
No. So then it's Palm Springs, and then we are going to. Oh yeah, let's read it. The Castro Theatre in San Francisco, then San Diego, then Fort Lauderdale, then Orlando. Oh yeah, June 25th. I'm playing some venue you might have heard of. I don't know, Carnegie Hall. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, you know how you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, kid. Practice. You know, I noticed something about all those places that you're going. All those places you're going, there's a lot of gay guys. Is that planned?
You know.
Oh, that's so exciting, those different places.
Oh, and Provincetown at the end.
Oh, I know you're going to have fun there.
I've
That's a
never
great
been
place.
as well. I've never been to Provincetown. And everyone
Oh,
said,
it's
you're going to
beautiful.
love it. You're going to love it.
And they're going to love you as well.
I hope
So that clip that we saw, tell us, how was that produced?
That was great. That was when I went in January. So it was sort of like, can she do it live? Which is perfect. What have I done to my hair? I don't know. It was like, can she do it live sort of thing? Because Scott had only seen me doing the videos like everyone had, you know, holding my phone. I mean, obviously there's no trickery involved in any of my videos, as you can see, really. I mean, it's just a phone. There's no mics, there's no echo, nothing. But can I do however many in a row and stuff was what he wanted to know. So he got a 6-piece band together, excuse me, and Michael Orland, who was playing the piano there, and he's the head musical arranger for American Idol and stuff like that, amongst lots of other things Michael does. And we got together and had a 4-hour rehearsal with him on the Sunday. I came in on the Saturday. On the Sunday, I had a 4-hour rehearsal with Michael Orland. On the Monday, we recorded the sizzle. On the Tuesday, I went home. It was really like, but so yeah, we worked out a few of the songs because we'd said, like, on the phone before I came over, I'd been saying, well, okay, I think I'd want to do this. And he had a few that he would like to hear me doing as her. So Scott suggested I'm Still Here, the Sondheim song from Follies that Jim Bailey did actually do as Judy previously. And in that sizzle reel there, I'm actually wearing Jim Bailey's jackets. Yeah, because his ex-manager and ex-partner, Steve Campbell, who's absolutely lovely, who I met that time that I went over, he's friends with Scott, and he came to watch, and he said, look, if they fit you, you can borrow these jackets. And I was like, wow. So I got to wear, I feel good that I'm sort of, you know, I don't have his blessing, but hopefully I would have, you know, I've got Steve's, but I felt like I was carrying the torch on for Jim, you know, and similarly, Steve let me wear for that sizzle reel Judy Garland's actual ring that Liza gave to Jim.
Oh my goodness.
He has it, and he says, here you go, you can wear it. Oh my God. Yeah, amazing.
Have you heard from Liza or Lorna?
No, but I don't know. I don't know if they've heard anything or whatever. Hopefully, if they see anything or whatever, I'd just, you know, I'm big fans of both of them, but I'd hopefully want them to know that it's all done with love and respect, and it's just because I'm a big fan of their mum. And, you know, I don't like going into all the sort of dark side of things. I don't see why you need to. And everyone who met Judy and everything always says how fun and happy she was, and that's the sort of thing I like to focus on. That as a person, she's very funny, very witty and up and fun to be with. And I think that's what should be celebrated, as well as her talent, you know. So hopefully they get that that's what I'm about with when I try and sing like her. But obviously it's odd, isn't it? You know, someone pretending to be your mum, it must be a bit strange. So yeah.
Well, how exciting. I like the way you're thinking about Judy. And we're going to talk about your song selection for your album right after this break.
That's just part 2 of our interview with Debbie. There's much more, so stick around. And now, Russell, come on in.
Hey, oh my goodness, I so love Debbie. She's incredible, isn't she?
Yes. And, you know, she was just so inviting to us, and that was great, too. So, Russell, what do you want to talk about?
Well, we've got a lot more to come in this show. We have segment 3 of Debbie, of course, and we have a Rocco coming up at the end, and we've got Rusty Peen tonight, too. Rusty's going to tell us. We got some Peen, and he's talking about a popular movie that's out. So it's going to get interesting.
That will be interesting.
So,
All right.
and I do want to remind everyone, take one more chance here to remind you that you can make a donation to the Bustiers using that Venmo at RJD Pro or amberlive.tv and look for the support Amber Live button, and that will still count towards our $1,000 matching donation. So please, if you can do it, help us out and make that donation this week. This is the last chance to do that. So thank you.
Yes,
And
come on.
then, of course, there's always one more way, just one more way that you can help us, and that's by, do you know what it is, Amber?
Visiting the amberlive.tv store.
Yes, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Summertime, and it's time for vacation. Vacation. Where would I want to go? I know. I think I'd like to go to the beach. Don't worry, I'm bringing my vodka with me. Oh, wow. If I'm going to the beach, you know what? I'm going to need some beach towels. Where can I get some quality beach towels? Oh, I know. amberlive.tv. There's a bunch of collection of really nice towels. And how about some t-shirts and some muscle shirts? Those would look nice on the beach. And let's see. If it gets cool at night at the clam bake, what am I going to wear? I better take along my Amber Live TV sweatshirt. Yes, that would be fun to wear. And then at night, at night, I don't have to order anything because I already have my Amber Live TV pillow. Oh, so soft. You're going to love it. And then the next morning, what are you going to need? You're going to need an Amber Live mug to drink your coffee or whatever you want to put in it. And if you haven't gotten enough Peen lately, check out our Rusty Peen collection. Everyone wants more Peen. All this and more is available at amberlive.tv. Order yours today.
Why do I look like an alien there? I'm not sure. But let's get back to round 3 with Debbie Wildman.
All right, we're back with Debbie Wildman, and she's going to be on tour, and she has a new album coming out of songs that Judy would have sung. And what's the name of the album?
I'm Still Here.
I'm still, I love that song. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to mention the songs that are on the album. So I want to hear your comments and why you picked it and how it came about. Beauty and the Beast is that first song I have.
Well, we thought it would be nice to do some Disney. This isn't one that I originally thought of. We were talking, there was a bunch of people involved. So we had Ron Abel and Steve Orich and also Michael Orland for the beginning part, and Scott and myself were all, I came in with quite a few that I was like, I'd really like to do this, 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 and this. And then it was a lot of just talking about, should we not? What do you think of this one? Try singing this one. And because the time differences are quite big in the UK, I'm 8 hours ahead of LA. So I'd be on the phone at like 1 a.m. singing as Judy Garland down the phone going, come on, Life on Mars by David Bowie. No, it's a god awful small affair.
No, not so much. So Disney, you check Disney off there.
Well,
now the next one,
nice, and I thought it would be a nice one for her to sing. It's a bit more gentle because on the album you want a nice mixture of upbeat, slower, whimsical, whatever, you want a nice mixture. It's not like I know in the 50s Capitol used to do mood albums, but it's not a mood album. It's meant to be a mix of stuff.
All right, so now for something totally different. Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh, that one's not going to be on there now. We did record it. It might be as an extra, like a single or something like that. This was my idea. I was like, wouldn't it be so fun? Like Rick rolling on the internet, when you click on something and then you get Never Gonna Give You Up. I was like, we could roll Judy Garland. And I love that song. I think it's such a tune. So we have recorded it, but as a sort of group summit, we were like, does it fit in with the rest of the album? I don't know.
I love it. It shows Judy being hip.
Well, in 1986, but yeah.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I just see her.
Yeah.
That's
It
great.
is fun though. We did it sort of a bit swinging and fun. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. I should do the chorus, really. Never gonna give you up. Never
That's
gonna
it.
let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you.
Oh, thanks. You just made my day.
I thought that
All right.
I was like, never gonna give you up. Come on. But, it was,
Back to Broadway. If you walked into my life from Maine.
wow. If you walked into my life and it's today, we chose to do because they were written for her and then she never did them. Jerry Herman apparently wrote Maine with Judy in mind. That's who he was envisioning in the part and who he wanted to play Maine. And then it never came to be. I think, you know, insurance stuff with theatres and just
it was a rough time of her life. Yeah.
stuff colluded or whatever, and it never happened. And she never actually sang it at all. And there's a clip that I think it was Buzz Stevens from the Judy Garland Experience group put on YouTube of she almost sings it. She's in a nightclub and you can hear the band playing an introduction and then she goes, did he? No, did he? No, I can't do. No, I'll leave it to Angela, she says. And then she doesn't sing it. And that's the closest she came to singing it and being recorded singing it. And you're like, ah! So we thought we'd do it because it was written.
I didn't know. That's fascinating. So you have Beauty and the Beast and If You Walk Into My Life, both recorded by Angela. Do you have a thing for Angela? I mean,
I love
is that just a coincidence?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's Judy's revenge for the Harvey girls. I'll show you. I'll cover 2 of your songs.
All right, and then you have an Adele song, "Rolling in the Deep."
Yeah.
How did you chose that one? Didn't you?
I basically ages ago when I was making my videos, just me in my car or in my laundry room, and I'd done a few songs that Judy hadn't done. I then asked, because I did As If We Never Said Goodbye from Sunset Boulevard in my car, and I did a few others, and this was with the help of a lovely pianist called John D. Randall, and he just, out of the goodness of his heart, did me some piano tracks a la Garland to make these videos at home for free, you know. I asked the Judy Garland Experience fan club group online, what ones would you like to have me do? What would you like to hear Judy do that she didn't do? So I'd asked this like a year or a year and a half before this album project came up. And I just went back in my history and found this question that had like 375 answers. And I just screenshotted all of them, sent them to Scott and was like, look, what'd you think? And there were a couple of artists that kept cropping up on there. So a couple of the songs that I chose were because of this list, because I was like, well, this is what people want. This is what people want to hear. They want to hear an Adele. And I mean, I tried a few of hers and that was the one that just I could sort of work with the best. You know, I know a lot of people wanted someone like you, but I just couldn't really make it sound like her. And we wanted a slightly more up tempo one. So we settled on that one.
Oh, I can hear you doing that. I can hear it. All right. Now, this one surprised me that Judy hadn't recorded Crazy by Patsy Cline.
Yeah. No,
because she was alive during that, because the song was in the early 60s. But it sounds so Judy-ish, you know?
Yeah. But there's a very interesting arrangement. See, when we said that one, I just practiced sang it down the phone. Said, "What'd you think, guys?" Boom. And then it was actually Ron Abel came up with a really, really clever orchestration that mixes a Garland song with crazy. You know, you sometimes get these mashup videos on the internet where you
Yeah.
can play 2 songs at the same time and they fit. It's that. I don't want to spoil, no spoilers,
Okay.
but it's
Oh,
it's
no,
really,
no.
when he said, "I've worked out you could do this," played me this thing down the phone, I went, "Oh, that's so clever. Oh, I love it." So it's crazy, sung to the right tune, but the music has, I wouldn't say nods. It's more than nods. It's a Judy song already, and it's, oh, I was like, that is brilliant. Yes.
And you attribute to the Beatles with "Yesterday Into My Life." Is that another one of your mashups?
So it's "Yesterday" and "Got to Get You Into My Life." That's
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, "Got to Get You Into My Life." So it starts with "Yesterday" and then goes into "Got to Get You Into My Life." "Got to Get You Into My Life" was my choice, and "Yesterday" and putting it together was Scott's idea. But I was like, "Got to Get You Into My Life." I love that one.
Oh, yeah, that's another one that's a peppy, and
Yes,
I
it
can see
starts slow and then gets into them all, but it's great fun. It's really good.
Now, I
mean,
listened to the
say that about myself, should I? It's great.
Hey, if you don't like it, why should we?
Yeah.
Now, the next song, I listened to the Broadway channel on Sirius XM a lot. And the first time I heard this song, I go, what is that from? That's such a great song. It's called 50% from the show Ballroom.
Ballroom, yeah.
I just went, oh my God, that's a great song. Now, tell me the story about that, how that came about.
Well, I'd actually already done Judy singing that. Weirdly enough, this song is the one. So I said to Scott, when I went over to LA in the January and recorded that sizzle with the little band, that was when I just said, oh yeah, I think it'd be good to do an album one day. That'd be good. Not thinking. And then he said that when he went back and looked at some of my videos and saw me singing 50% as Judy Garland in my car to a backing track I'd made myself with an app that removes vocals and then slowing it down and changing the key and stuff. He said, I heard that, and that's what made me think, all right, we'll do the album. So I'd actually, a man called Ken Bruce on Facebook had said, could you sing 50% as Judy Garland for my birthday, please? And I didn't know the song. So I went and listened to it, all the different versions. And Dorothy Loudon was the one that I most listened to, but Barbara Streisand's done it.
Right, yeah.
And I learned it because I didn't know it and thought, oh, yeah, I could get my teeth into this. Yeah, good one. So I learned it for this guy, Ken, whose birthday it was, who said, please, could you do that for my birthday? And I did it in my car in a car park in Saffron Walden at like midnight. And that is what made Scott go, yeah, we'll do an album then, and we'll do that on the album. And
I'd be curious to find out what Ken's marital status is. If he wanted a song about a mistress sung for his birthday.
He just likes Judy Garland and the song.
Oh, it's a beautiful song. Oh, can't wait to hear you sing that.
And can I be Swanksville here? So we recorded all of the orchestra and some of the vocals at what used to be A&M Records when I went over 2 weeks ago, you know, where Herb Alpert, his studio, and before that it was Charlie Chaplin's studio. So Charlie Chaplin's footprints are on the floor. I stood in them, and now it's Henson. So there's a big Kermit on top of the wall dressed as Charlie Chaplin. Anyway, we recorded the orchestra there for 2 days and some of my vocals, but on the Saturday we had 4 hours booked in at MGM. It's now Sony, but it's MGM, really. It's MGM. And I got to record 4 hours worth of vocals in the room where all the MGM musicals had their vocals recorded. So Judy recorded Over the Rainbow in that very studio. There's a mark on the floor that they say, oh, that's where Judy stood to record it. The guys in the studio were like, I don't think it is, but I stood in it anyway. But you know, all of those great films, you know, all of Easter Parade, Summer Stock, Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, all of those films that I know she's not in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, but it's just one of my favorite MGM musicals. You know, all of them were recorded in that room, and I got to sing in that room, and I was so pumped up and like loving it. It really inspired me, and I did the vocals for 50% in there. So the 50% vocals on the album were done at MGM.
Were you singing live with the orchestra?
For some of it, yeah.
And others
Some
they had recorded, and you just sang along. Okay.
Yeah, some of the vocals are live with the orchestra, and then some I did later, but they're all pretty much live because we mixed it. I arrived on the Tuesday or Wednesday, then the next day we were in the studio, then the next day we were in the studio, then I had a day of having my photo taken, and then Saturday we were in MGM, then Sunday, Monday we mixed it or comped it, and so you put all the stuff together. And a lot of it, there wasn't a lot of fiddling around really. There was a lot of just full takes because it was just so inspiring to be with these brilliant musicians and Steve Orich conducting and stuff, and it was just great. It was a dream. It's been an absolute dream. You know, if nothing else comes of it, if there's some disaster, oh God, why am I saying this? Don't say it. But, you know, if nothing else were to happen, if all I'd done was record this, it's a dream. It's a dream come true. It's just amazing.
About the next song selection, Evergreen and Shallow.
This was my idea. Because I was like, Star is Born. I want to do a star. I was very grandly calling it the Star is Born Suite. But I think it's just for alliteration, you know. But I was like, oh, the Star is Born Suite. I said, we should do, because obviously Janet Gaynor did it first. But then Judy did a Star is Born. Then Barbara did a Star is Born. And then Gaga did a Star is Born. And I thought it would be nice to take a song from both of the other Star is Borns and do it like Judy. So it was like a
oh, how cool.
That
all right, back to Broadway with Defying Gravity from Wicked.
Again, that was my idea, because I was like, well, Oz, it's the Oz connection, you know.
Duh.
So I'm singing it like Dorothy. Dorothy's leaving and going off. I'm not singing it like a 17-year-old girl, but or old Dorothy's meant to be. My foot's gone numb, sorry. Excuse me moving. I've been on my foot. But yeah, so I thought that was a good one to do because it's the whole Oz connection. And I thought that'd be great.
All right, now the next one, again, I think is one of your selections, Back to Black by Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Tell us about their two lives. How do you see their two lives?
I did see that there was a bit of correlation, you know, with the two ladies, you know, very passionate, both had letdowns in romance and love, you know, both didn't live to be old enough. And I think, you know, I thought there's parallels, obviously. And then I also thought it would just be great for Amy's stuff to live on a bit more. You know, we're roughly the same age, me and Amy Winehouse. She's a few months older than me and a fellow Londoner, you know. And I just thought, you know, she's a great performer, great songwriter, and had similarities with Judy, with these men and
everything.
Edgy. It's a bit unexpected. I thought it would be good to do, you know, obviously Broadway is not so unexpected for Judy to possibly be doing, but I thought Amy Winehouse was really unexpected but fitting. I thought it works, you know, as where their two lives went, and I don't know.
Passion. You mentioned that you mentioned passion. Yeah, passion. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. I just thought that would be a good one. And I tried singing it in the shower. I was like, oh, would that work? Yeah, I think that would work. Yeah, that'd be really good. Oh, and yeah, I also like singing Kept His Dick Wet. As it made me laugh, I've got to say. That could be a bit weird.
The next song is one of my personal favorites, I'm Still Here. I sing that a lot. Yeah, they go, you're still here? I go, I'm still here. Oh, I mean, there are so many great recordings of that song. I
Mm,
mean, to me, Elaine Stritch is the epitome one.
I
The
love her
Carol
version.
Burnett, the Carol Burnett's version is so cool too.
And
And you just listen to them, and you hear different, things from different people about what it means. Tell us what your feelings about "I'm Still Here."
oh, it's a brilliant song. Strangely enough, Carol Burnett's husband was playing drums on the album. Yeah. I think it's a brilliant song. I mean, I've tweaked some of the words so that it's more Judy-esque as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not tons of them, because they're such great lyrics, you don't want to mess with them too much.
But she would make it more personal.
I made it a little bit more personal, so for instance, I made it through Ethel and Louis B. Mayer. Me, that was fun and a half. If we can do Ethel and Louis B. Mayer, anything else is a laugh.
Oh my!
So it's just
Oh,
little tweaks that I put in. I didn't do the thing called a commie pinko too. I put something else instead of that bit as well. But I didn't fiddle with it too much. But I just did a couple of Judy. Oh, this one made me laugh when I know it's big-headed, isn't it? When I made this up, I really laughed. But
I laugh at my own stuff, so go right ahead.
But when it's I lived through Deanna Durbin and I'm here.
Oh my God, how much fun! That's just a powerful song, powerful.
And Judy,
And then
Judy had the stature and the longevity of career to sing that even when she was in her 40s. She was still there,
Oh, I couldn't find a Liza version of that, and I'm surprised Liza hasn't recorded it.
No, I don't think she has. I haven't heard one. I really liked Cleo Lane's version. I thought she did it very well. And Ann Miller's version was excellent.
Oh my, Ann Miller.
Ann Miller doing it on YouTube. Love Ann Miller.
All right, the final song on the album. Was this a little daunting? Over the Rainbow?
Oh, well, we did Over the Rainbow. Scott was saying you should do at least one that is a Judy song, just so that people can compare your impression, so that they can go, oh no, she does sound like, because if it's all stuff she never did, then you won't necessarily be able to see how much I sound like her singing wise, But he was like, well, you should do one. I mean, if you're going to do one, so that was also a big part of the doing it in the same studio. So we did that at MGM, where she did it 84 years ago. And it was just, it was amazing. Just amazing. And again, Steve let me wear her ring while I was doing it. So I was like,
oh, how exciting. How exciting. All right. When does the album come out?
10th of June.
10th 100th birthday.
And so it would have been on her 100th birthday. And we're going to do it. It's going to be available for streaming on CD. And also, I'm hoping we're planning so far a limited vinyl run as well. So it will be on vinyl. Because I'm a vinyl hound. I don't know if you can. There you go.
Oh, okay. You've got the album coming out June 10th. You've got your tour of California, New York.
Also, we're going to Florida and stuff as well. And
Florida, yes.
And Provincetown. So yeah.
Now, will your husband and daughter be traveling with you?
Well, they're not coming with me for the whole thing, but they're going to come out to Orlando so that we can do Disney. She's 4, come on.
After that, after you're done with your tour, what's next?
Don't know. School runs. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. We're hoping to do some dates elsewhere, in England or in Europe or wherever worldwide. I think this is sort of like a let's see how it goes sort of thing, you know. We've got a band together, we're going to go out on the road, do these dates, see how people like it, see how it goes, and then work from there. And then, you know, hopefully I'd like to do some stuff as me as well, you know. Who knows, we're hoping, because I trained in acting as well, so you know, I'd like to do a bit of acting and
how big is the
whatever I can.
Who's accompanying you on your tour? How big's the combo or
it's a 7-piece band, and Ron Abel will be on piano, and I think they're putting the band together right at the moment, so I don't know everyone else in the band as yet.
How exciting.
It's Debbie, really exciting. So Ron plays with Lucy Arnaz usually, as amongst loads of other things as well.
You're an inspiration. You know, you found something you like to do, and you were doing it for fun, and you just started, like we like to say, throw crumbs out there, and people started eating them up. And I mean, look where you are.
To me, it's brilliant nuts, but it's nuts. You know, I never expected this at all. I was just, you know, like everyone was in lockdown at the time. My daughter was 2, and it was just like, and you know, I just thought, well, you know, some of my friends were having to self-isolate on their own. Obviously, you know what self-isolate means, but I just thought, oh, it might be nice to sing a song every day, just a song a day, be quite nice for people who are by themselves. I wouldn't have done it otherwise. I would have found it embarrassing and cringy, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to sing on that. But it's very much a silver lining, and I had no thoughts to anything coming from it. I really didn't. I just thought it would be a nice thing to do, something nice for me, dressing up in all the rubbish out of my wardrobe and whatever that increasingly as lockdown went on didn't fit, because I was like but you know, it's been amazing, like really just brilliant to work with these wonderful people, to go places, to talk to people. Wrong way. To talk to people like yourself, you know, being interviewed online. What? It's lovely. It's just, and I've met some just such nice people. You know,
well, Debbie,
really lovely.
We're going to hear back. We're going to hear more from you. I'd love to sometime during your tour, if you get a couple places under your belt, love you to come back on and tell us, you know, how's it going? Have you had to change
hopefully anything? I won't be like this.
Oh, you're a pro. You'll take care of yourself. But thank you so much, Debbie. We are with you all the way.
Thank you so much, Amber. Thank you for asking me back, and to Russell. You know, thanks so much. It's really, I really appreciate people, you know, taking an interest, supporting what I've been doing, because it's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Can you imagine how it started? And I'm still in my basement here in the Burlington. Oh, well, I can live vicariously through Debbie. Thank you, Debbie, very much.
Now, it's been a few weeks since we've seen our good friend Rusty Peen. I wonder what he's been thinking and drinking about. Let's find out.
Thinking and drinking with Rusty Peen.
Dude, this here's Rusty Peen from the Beaver Pond Guns and Tackle Society, where our mission is to arm more drag queens, because a loaded drag queen is a safe drag queen. Dude, have you been to the movies lately? They got this shit out called The Northman. Dude, in case you don't know what it's about, let me clue you in. It's about this fucking prince of Norland, or Denny's, or some shit. Anyway, bud, his father dies under mysterious circumstances, and his uncle swoops in and tries to pick up his mom. And dude, I bet you're thinking to yourself, well shit dude, that story sounds familiar. That sounds an awful lot like the Rusty Peen story. Dude, you've been following my YouTube channel. You know the story, how it goes. My pappy Peen died under mysterious circumstances while doing a cigarette delivery because his last words were, I'm going out for some smokes. Next thing you know, Uncle Iggy Peen is swooping in trying to scoop up Ma Peen. Dude, story as old as time, bud. I've even been trying to parse out the situation and put down my deepest thoughts to words to figure out all this shit. And it seems like someone's stealing all my fucking words and notes. Check this shit out. To Peen, or not to Peen? That's the question, bud. Whether it makes more fucking sense to suffer outrageous fortune or to take arms against the sea of troubles and drop kick a fucker in the fucking throat. To die, to sleep no more. Dude, by sleep means that you end the heartache and the 1,000 natural shocks that flesh is heir to. Dude, it's a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to peen. Dude, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what peens may come, when we've shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's a respect, bud, that makes calamity a so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time? The presser's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the lies delay, the insolence of office, cousin fucking Craig, and the patient merit that the unworthy takes when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin. Dude, you know what that fucking means, cousin Craig? Bet they didn't teach you that at fucking Dirtmouth College. Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country from whose bourne no travel returns puzzles the will. It makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Dude, conscience makes fucking cowards of us all. Dude, the native fuel of resolution is sicklied over with the bell casted thought, and fucking pathetic enterprises watch their currents turn to shit and lose the name of action. Shit like this I'm talking about, but I gotta talk to a lawyer about creative licensing and shit. What else is there to say? Don't go see the Northman. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
Thinking and drinking with Rusty Peen.
Rosenkrantz and Guildenstein are fucking dead.
Whoa! I'm going to have to rewatch that a few times to find out what he really said, meant. I don't know. And you know what? Who can be almost as confusing? Rocco Zamboni. Come on in, Rocco.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Rocco, again. You're probably saying, why the hell are you driving? Well, because I just got back from what they call a movie theater. Now, I went there specifically for a special screening of one of Judy Garland's least known roles. Nobody's really ever heard of this movie, which is a shame because it's kind of fun. It's called Wizard of Oz, or as I call it in my house, Woz. So, if you never heard of it, it's about this girl from Kansas or something, someplace out there where they got tornadoes a lot. And she's got chickens and sings about rainbows. And, you know, and she's got a dog. And this old lady next door doesn't like the dog. What the hell's up with that? So this lady's trying to kill the dog. And Judy Garland's character, I think his name is Morpheus or something. She's like, oh no, I'm going over the rainbow to where they don't capture dogs. Who the hell even thinks of that crap? So she does it by way of a tornado. That blows. Who would have thunk? You just jump in a tornado, you go over the rainbow, and here you are face to face with a bunch of midgets wearing stupid costumes and stuff. But at least they're all in color, because in the farm she was in black and white. I don't know what's going on with that. So, she's over there, and everybody's saying, hey, you killed the witch. And she's like, I killed somebody. Shit, I better get out of here. And then suddenly some bubble floats down, and some lady gets out of it and starts talking about, hey, go kill this other witch, and then you can go home. She's like, what? What's with all this murder in this thing? So Morpheus goes over to following some yellow brick road thing, and she finds a bunch of weirdos on the way. Like some guy who's a scarecrow. A scarecrow comes to life. He's made of straw. And he wants a brain because he's a dummy. Then they come across this guy who's made of metal. Tin, I guess, because they called him the Tin Man. He looked like a funnel or some sort of weird contraption. And he was all pissed off because he was frozen shut from the rust. So they oiled him up, and then this guy said, hey, I need a heart. They're like, you need a little more than a heart, because that heart's just going to bounce around in that empty belly of yours. So then they move on. And what do they find next? A lion. I'm not kidding you, a lion. I wouldn't be lying. So this lion comes out, tries to scare them, and then Morpheus slaps him in the face. And Jimbo the lion says, hey, why'd you go and do that? That hurt. He is a pussy. So he's all scared and shit. He's like, I just need courage. I'm like, really? Why don't you take a self-defense class or something? So they all wander off trying to go see the Wizard of Oz. But first, they gotta go kill a witch. So what do? They're fighting off flying monkeys, and they're fighting off trees that throw apples at them. This is a weird place. I think maybe Morpheus was on acid or something. But Judy Garland, she did a pretty good job of it. And eventually, they see the witch. They light her broom on fire. No, she lit her broom on fire, and then she burned up the straw man, which was kind of sad, but at the same time, he's made of straw. Who cares? So what happens next? She throws a bucket of water on this witch. A bucket of water made the witch melt. That's it. That's how she killed her. She melted her with water. I'm telling you, I don't know what was in that water. Maybe it came from Flint, Michigan or something. So they kill the witch. They get the broomstick. They go back to the wizard, who turns out to be some asshole behind a curtain the whole time. He's got a hot air balloon. He promises to take Morpheus back to Kansas. And then he leaves without her. And it's like, screw you, Morpheus, you're on your own. You and those red slippers better clap them together and say there's no place like home. I think there is some place like home, like some bar or something. That's better. Anyway, it's a happy ending, I think. For who, I don't know. Probably Toto, that dog, because he didn't get killed by that lady next door. This is a weird movie. But check it out, because Judy Garland plays Morpheus to a T. She's fantastic. And she was just a kid back then, you know? Before she had Liza Minnelli, I think. I don't know, maybe Liza was running around. Maybe she was pregnant with Liza the whole time, and that's why it was all fucked up. So anyway, this is Rocco with my report on Wizard of Oz. Go check it out, see for yourself. There's actually supposedly a scene when they're running through the woods, and there's some guy hanging from a tree who killed himself. But don't tell him I told you that, because I had nothing to do with it. All right? Have a good day, everybody.
Oh my, I want to thank Debbie Wildman. Thank you, Debbie. That was a wonderful time to spend with you. And I want to thank, yes, Rusty Peen. I want to thank Rusty Peen and Rocco Zamboni, and of course, Russell, for making this all happen. So thank you very much. It's June. Celebrate Pride, and we'll be back next week. See you then.
That Debbie Wildman does an amazing Judy Garland impersonation. Who's Judy Garland? From The Wizard of Oz? The green lady? No. The pink lady? No. Don't you pay attention when you watch movies? I'm just there for the damn popcorn.